everybody, this is Kim from GetGreenBeWell.com. We're here at the Tampa Bay Tiny Home Show, seeing what a tiny home show is like. This is the first time I've ever been to one, and what kind of models are new out there available for tiny home purchases. So follow along and we'll look at some options.
Also in this tiny home convention were RVs, tiny RVs, and then there was a huge sales floor selling all kinds of different things, including a huge jacuzzi, which was bigger than most of the tiny homes there, which was ironic. But this gives you an aerial view of what the tiny home convention looked like from above. So this is the Red Barn Tiny Home. This was one of the most popular places to go in the tiny home convention. This has the longest lines and much of the most admiration, I guess, of all the tiny homes. This one was absolutely beautiful. It looked like a rustic old barn, complete with all of the old-fashioned light bulbs, and it really was gorgeous. These are some of the exterior shots showing how much it does look like a barn. It had the metal roofing. As you can see, the price was about $75,000. I like this double Dutch door. It had so many of the farmhouse details on this one that I really loved. This window says it all. I mean, that window and the lights hanging down like that, I don't think this tiny home would be this popular if it didn't have that feature. And so that window wall was definitely the calling card, so to speak, for this tiny home. Now, as you can see, trying to take video and photos while inside these tiny homes, you essentially are just like in a line waiting for somebody else in line in front of you to get out of the way. So it's really hard to get great photos or videos to show everything in detail. But I am walking through the kitchen right here, and you can see there are stairs leading up to the bedroom, and all the appliances are under the stairs, under that loft area. I also love the brick aspect of this kitchen. It again makes it look like a barn-like setting. The open shelving, a lot of the wood. It was really great design. And the fact that the refrigerator and the microwave and all the appliances fit underneath the stairs is brilliant design. So you've got the stove right there as well. You'll see there's a few cabinets that you can put some stuff in. This is the bathroom. This is some great shelving right there. I like that the built-ins like along the shiplap walls, those are really great farmhouse touches. This bathroom was really nice. You can see the sink is incredibly small, but this shower looks like a residential shower. It has the window, the fancy tile. I mean, it's really something that you would want in your home, which makes it really great when you are looking for a tiny home. Here is another tiny home. This is from up the stairs on the second level, looking at the two loft sleeping areas. They look beautiful. Essentially, it's just a bed on a platform. And then this is a brand new type of tiny home. This is actually a storage container, as you can tell. And this one was created to be emergency housing and affordable housing for students and for refugees. And this is actually something that students work on. You can see how big it is inside. It will sleep 2 people. And the owner says that it is, I think about 30 to 40,000 is what it would cost. And it would house 2 people at least, which is great if you're needing emergency housing. And yet this looks like a really beautiful home. I mean, he's done it to be cost efficient, but in actuality, the design is absolutely beautiful. This is an additional tiny home. I love this little porch. This one had a lot of great outdoor details. You can see the shingles and the beautiful windows. I love that ceiling on top with all of the exposed beams. The decor in here was beautiful. A lot of it wasn't out, so you can see like the table would need to be put out. The bed would need to be brought down, the bed right there. So it all had signs on it. And again, there's so many people that are going through these tours that it's kind of hard to stop and see what it would look like and kind of unfold the table and get an idea of how much room it would take or what that Murphy bed would look like if it was pulled down. But the details on this are beautiful. You can see that fan, very farmhouse feeling. Again, I really loved the ceiling on this one because of those beams that were exposed. That was really beautiful. This kitchen was amazing. Again, it had a farmhouse feel to it, which a lot of these tiny homes did. They had the farmhouse feel. This wooden countertop would not be really practical with a lot of water and real use. The refrigerator is beautiful. Here is a little bit of storage, and then it goes into the bathroom with a window, which is quite impressive. This bathroom was actually very beautiful. Tiny sink as well in that tiny home. And so much interesting things in that one. This again is another tiny home. This one was actually quite big. I think the biggest tiny home there was. These were the floor plans, and this one was actually called the Shelby. This had a rooftop deck, which everybody loved going in. Now, the problem with this one, it was one of the largest tiny homes, yet every single person that was inside said this one felt cramped. Everybody said that the bathroom felt too small, the house felt too small. So that was people's observations, which is interesting because it was the largest in square footage. So it just goes to show that design goes a long way in creating space, no matter what the square footage is. Just because you have a lot of square footage doesn't mean it feels any bigger. So the shiplap walls on this one were really nice. Again, the bathroom feels a little cramped compared to other places. You've got the big size refrigerator. This would be where the washer and dryer goes. And then going back into the living room, there was actually a bedroom on the lower floor. You can see it right there in front of you. Another loft space above. And then turning around, there was another loft space up there. So there was a lot of bedrooms in this tiny home, more than what you would normally find. Trying to get up these stairs while holding a camera was quite a challenge. But you can see they can fit a little bit of a bed in there. It's a nice window. I've got to admit, it is pretty nice with all of the light and the windows. So really you have 3 bedrooms, and it's just, if you want a lot of bedrooms, that would be fine. This is another type of tiny home. This is actually more for like a mobile home development, so it's not really a tiny home. And then this, you can see the line is wrapped around for the one that we just looked in, the one with the rooftop deck. That's where I'm standing on top.
All right, so some takeaways from our very first tiny home convention. There is a lot of people that are interested in tiny homes, and a lot of people in one space looking at a few tiny homes makes it a logistical challenge to get inside. There are long lines to get inside, and then once you are in there, there's a ton of people inside. And we all know only so many people can fit in a tiny home. So if you're actually here to look at the very specifics and how drawers work, and really set yourself up at home and feel like you're living there, don't think that's going to happen. There's just way too many people. Also, it's probably a better idea to actually go to the RV dealerships and the tiny home builders, if there is some near you, to get a better experience and more one-on-one interaction. On top of that, the cost to get in here was pretty high. It's $15 a person plus $8 in parking. So just add all of that in together when deciding whether or not to go to a tiny home convention. That being said, we have found a lot of really great homes that are very unique that we haven't seen out there before, and are surprised about the tiny RVs that are here as well, the teardrop type campers that we really fell in love with as well. So that has been the Tampa Tiny Home Show, and let me know down below if you've ever been to a tiny home show, what you thought, and if you had the same feelings. Are they really great to go to get a feel of the tiny homes, or is there just too many people to make it worth it? So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.